Today on Crossroads Real Estate, we're going to take a look at how to list a house for sale. Sounds simple? It is simple. But where do you start? Well, best place to start is find a good agent. You might want to make note of this phone number. If you're in Wisconsin, you're going to want to give me a call. Well, the first question that comes up is, do you want to work with an agent or a broker? If you're the type of person that wants to work with the person in charge, you want to work with the broker. See, the way this is laid out, the broker is up on top. Broker has all these agents working for him. All these agents are doing what the broker tells them to do. Broker sets a commission, maximum commission, minimum commission, whatever. Broker's responsible for checking all the contracts, filing all the contracts, and then, of course, let's go back to it again, the commission. Well, here at Crossroads Real Estate, we got what we call a variable rate commission. What is a variable rate commission? Well, it takes into consideration the condition of your house. Is it ready to sell? Is it going to be an easy sale? Is it the kind of house everybody's looking for? Are you going to set a really high price on your house or market value? Is it going to take me a week to sell this house or 6 months? How much work do I got to put into it? I'd be crazy to charge you the same commission for a house that's going to sell in a week compared to one that's going to sell in 6 months. Also, you have multiple properties. Hey, let's do a volume discount. Well, are you selling a house? Are you going to buy another house? Well, it's a volume discount. I'm getting 2 commissions, so I can afford to save you a lot of money on the commission on your house. So we can sit down, talk about it, work out a commission that's agreeable to both of us. In other words, we're going to start the negotiations even before your house is for sale. So how do people find real estate agents? Some of them search the internet. Well, what do I mean by search the internet? Well, we can just put an address in here in the search engine and we come up with all these, sites that have real estate on them. And you can search, kind of try to find, figure out what's the selling price in my neighborhood. Well, a lot of these sites, they basically price houses by zip code. We're going to go through on how I price them. It's a lot more accurate. Well, anyway, when you look at these sites, they're going to have pictures of agents on the side. And that tends to make people think, well, there must be good agents. They're pictured on the side. The site's endorsing them. Well, the site's not endorsing them. These sites all auction off zip codes. Some of these agents are paying thousands of dollars a month to get recommended for that zip code by that site. Well, so if they're paying $1,000 a month in advertising, are they looking out for your best interest or their best interest? Money's a big factor. So other people will go ahead and they'll get a recommendation from someone. And that's good too. Some people might call the number on the sign down the street, but that sign's up there to advertise the agent, not your house. And I've sold a couple of my own houses and had agents come and knock at the door. Well, number one, what they're doing is they find a listing on there and they're trying to steal my listing. They don't know I'm a licensed broker. Of course, it says on the data sheet that it's being offered by a licensed broker, but they don't bother reading it. So they're breaking a couple ethics code and they're doing a couple of bad moves in business. But they all seem to have this boilerplate line that get your foot in the door. I'm rated number 1 in the nation. I can sell your house quicker and for more money than any other agent. Well, I've actually worked with a couple of these agents, and they're kind of you got to be aware of these. they're the sign and gone. Well, once you sign a contract, you don't hear from them anymore. Well, you got to watch out for these agents. I got about 6 emails a day. Companies trying to sell me a robot that answers my emails, answers my text messages. I don't have to worry about a thing. I got more time to myself. I got more time to go out and grow my business. And it's kind of like, what are you dealing with? You want to deal with a computer. You want to deal with a real person. If an agent says, it's best to email me or text me, I'd watch out. So, you got to be careful about that. So when you choose your agent, you got to choose your agent wisely. One of the things every agent should do is talk to you about scams. Well, what kind of scams? Chances are you're using an email from Google or Yahoo or something, and you read those agreements, and they basically say, well, okay, if you're going to use our services, we can look through all your emails. Once again, they got the robots looking at your emails, and we can sell that information to anyone. Or they're going to sell it all over the place. You're probably going to get, especially if you get an accepted offer in your house and they start getting emails back and forth about closings, you could get, well, an email from someone that says you got to wire transfer this money over there right away. And no, don't do it. Don't ever give money to anyone. You're going to show up at closing with a check. Actually, that's for buyers. Sellers don't have to pay for anything. If you're selling your house, you expect to walk away with a check. So don't fall for that kind of stuff. Well, they might also send you an email saying, okay, you got to sign this paper right away. Well, don't fall for that either. Don't open and sign an email unless, of course, it's from me. I use a secure server. Also use a Linux system, which protects your information. Everything I put on there, it's pretty near impossible for anybody to get in there. I've got no key recorders. I've got all that. I don't have spyware on a Linux system, but I can guarantee you if I opened up my Windows 10 laptop, it would probably take a good 2 hours before I could do anything. It's going to go through an update. I could do a scan and I'm going to see all these key punch recorders, all of these ads, everything, all of these applications that are going to take everything on my hard drive and sell it off to everyone. I don't like Windows. I'm using Linux. Saves me a lot of headaches, keeps your information a lot safer. So we got to watch out if we're using public or free email services, which obviously are like Gmail, Yahoo Mail, stuff like that. We got to be careful with that. And we got to watch out for this e-sign scam. I don't know what it does. It's going to add spyware or viruses or whatever to your computer. See, we're going to work out a system that when I send you something to e-sign, I do use e-sign, and it is secure, but I'm going to let you know when I send something. And you're going to know who it's from, and you can safely open it. So that's what every agent should sit down, talk to you about it, and work out security measures so that you're not losing your money. If I'm protecting your interest, I'm protecting my interest. That's the way it is. Well, what's the first thing you want to do when you're selling a house? Of course, you want to find out the value on the house. How easy is that? Well, there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. Wrong way to do it is go on the internet and look at the value in the zip codes. Well, some of those companies got some rather strange systems. Most of those systems that they have are developed overseas. They don't know the real estate market. They got no idea what kind of neighborhood you're living in. They got no idea what your house looks like. They got no idea about anything, but they can write computer programs pretty good. Well, what I do is I do an MLS search. Well, and that comes up with a CMA, which is a comprehensive market analysis. And we're going to take a look at one of those CMAs. Matter of fact, what we can do is we can take a quick look at the MLS. And if it's a single family home, I want to search the active. And I want to search the sold. And that's going to take me to another screen. And I'm going to say, let's say you got 3 bedrooms. And let's say you got 2 bathrooms. And let's say you got 2 garage spaces. So we're going to search those similar homes. We could go into a whole lot of details about the exterior of the house, the lot description, the architecture. I could click on here and say, okay, it's a ranch, so I only want to look at ranch houses. When I'm going to search sold houses, I'm going to click this little date thing, and I'm going to go into this date, and I'm only going to search the houses over the last couple of months because I want to get as accurate of a price I can for this. Well, we can search interior rooms if you got a dining room and stuff like that. We're gonna try to find something that's rather close. And we got all these other options that we can do. Now, once we get done choosing all these options, I'm gonna flip on over the map. And when we get to this map, I can zero right into your neighborhood. Wherever you live, Milwaukee, Menominee Falls, whatnot. We got this little bar here. I can enter in your address. It's going to put a pin right here in your address. And once I get done locating your address, I can do a search area. Typically, I'm going to use a little pinpoint search. We're going to search a circle. And I'm going to go out to about a half-mile radius in the city. And if I'm out in the country out here, I might go into a search area and do a square and just take a couple of blocks. And I'm going to try to get, see, like this one comes up with 15 matches. Well, if I look at those 15 matches, what am I going to do? I'm going to send you all of them. And you can take a look at, what's happening in my area. Just going to click this little box, send it off. I'm going to hit the email. I'm going to email this information right to you. Well, not only going to send this information to you, I am going to take your property, enter in all this information, and do a comparable market analysis for you on your property. And this stuff is all going to be filled in. It's going to show you the locations of all the houses that are comparable. I'm going to tell you how far away they are. It's going to give you all those addresses on both the active and the sold. It's going to have all the information about your house, so we know all that information is accurate. You can check it before it goes live. It's going to give you a picture of all the similar properties. It's going to give you the list price, the original list price, and the sold prices of them, the sold units. And we're also going to have and it's got a place for adjustments. I really don't do adjustments. I'm not an appraiser. And then we're going to have some information about the active units. We got a lot of sold units on this one. And it's going to have quite a number of properties. And it's going to go through all these statistics because it's going to have the lowest price, it's going to have the highest price, it's going to give you a little bar chart, it's going to give it to you a little spreadsheet here. It's going to have, we want to look at days on the market, accumulative days on the market. It hasn't been listed 2 or 3 times before it's sold. And then we're going to look at the high, the low, the average. And it's going to give it to you in quite a couple of different ways, and a recommended selling price down here. Then it's going to give you basically the sales sheet for each of these properties. And we're going to be able to take a look at the property taxes and everything. So you're going to have a lot of information on this CMA. A lot of statistics, a lot of stuff to look at. And you're going to have this electronically. I'm going to send it to you, email it to you. You can take a look at it anytime. Can't sleep at night, you can go over the statistics. So we're going to take a look at the active prices, see what the market is doing today. We're going to take a look at the sold prices over the last couple of months. We're going to take a look at days on the market. How long did it take to sell? And this is going to help determine, hey, what's the best rate that I can do for you? If you're in a market that takes forever to sell, well, I'm going to have to do a lot of extra marketing. If it's going to sell really quick, hey, let's just put a good price in a house, give you a good commission rate, let's get the job done. Okay, so that's basically about it. Like I said, we covered cyber theft. You don't want to get involved in that, so you want to be careful. We're gonna talk about that when we sit down and talk. And you know what? This system works. Doesn't matter if you're selling a little tiny house or selling a really big house. Basically, the same steps, the same systems work. And you got to watch out for those little cyber agents. You know, agents that are going to wind up paying money for a computer to answer their questions for you. Don't forget, if they're going to buy this software and this computer stuff to do their work for them, somebody's got to pay for it. Anyway, if you have any questions, you can give me a call. If you got any comments, you can leave them below. And thanks for watching the video on how to list a house for sale.